Let me tell you this, James. Many people may not believe this. The theologian may not believe this. That praying, if you can pray in tongues for an extended time, whether you know what you're doing or not, whether you know what, now the theologians, the people that don't believe in this may not believe this. But I've seen the power, because praying in tongues is an act of surrender. You know, it's surrender. I don't know what I'm doing, Lord, but I can pray this. If you can, if the Lord has given you the ability, you are able to pray in the Spirit in tongues for an extended time. And you must, and this is very important and a principle, you must create a pattern. There's no one to help you, but you can say, okay, Father, no one will help me. As I'm setting 1 hour every day for the next 70 days. I'll do it every day. I'll be consistent. I'm raising my altar. I don't know what to do, but I need liberty. Why people are not completely delivered? Because they don't have a pattern. They have not created a cycle. They want to pray today, tomorrow they will not pray. They are complaining. But they say, okay, it's not working out. I don't even see what's, but I'll always worship God at this time for 1 hour, the next 45 days.
It becomes an altar.
So you raise an altar for yourself. And I always say, okay, if there's no one to help you, raise the altar. Raise your altar. Pray in tongues. Worship the same time for a period of time. Create a pattern in your life. The pattern you're creating is going to interfere with the patterns the enemy had put in your life.
Come on. That's good.
Because it's about breaking the cycle.
So your altar overrides whatever altar is.
Here is the principle in deliverance. Break the cycle. That's the principle. Break in healing, in deliverance. There has been a cycle. There's been a pattern. Now you break that with your cycle. For example,
the superior one.
If I decide to pray at midnight for 1 hour every day for 70 days, there are many cycles I've interfered with in my life. So this one cycle I'm creating is breaking patterns and cycles that the enemy could use as gates to oppress me or to blind me. So when I create a cycle of prayer, it's a consecration. Because I'm saying, Lord, this 1 hour is for you. This 1 minute is for you. And I'm going to be faithful on my altar. I'm going to be faithful. I know there's a young man who was like me. They brought him to me, and he was dedicated when he was a boy. And then he went into the occult. Then he was buried in the grave for many days. You know, he had done all kind of things. So they brought him to me, and I prayed with him. He was not delivered. I prayed a second time. He was not delivered. The Lord said to me, you know what? Pray with him every day at 3 a.m.
Wow.
With him. Wake up every day. Call him. He was staying in church. Wake up, pray with him at 3 a.m. And every time we begin to pray, he goes into a deep sleep. Like a coma sleep. Like that is sleep that you cannot wake him up. Like he leaves. And so I'm disappointed. But the Lord tells me, keep doing it because you are breaking a pattern. I realized that was the time they could always come for him and take him for rituals when he's sleeping. So there was a pattern in his life that every time at 3 a.m., he goes into a demonic sleep and he leaves the body. So they go and use him. So I began praying, and I didn't know what to pray. I first repented, and the Lord said, not working. So he said, pray in tongues. So I could pray from 3 a.m. to 5 for 2 hours, praying in tongues, and he's sleeping. Until one day, I think it was around 49 days, because it was 7 times 7. I was doing 7 days per week, and it was the 7th week, on the 49th week. He just said, I'm back. he looked at me and says, I don't know where I've been. So the next day I'm praying for the 50th day. That is like the Jubilee. And this time he did not sleep. So what delivered him in my engaging in prayer, I was breaking a pattern,
A cycle.
a cycle. And let me talk to someone watching right now. There is a cycle you need to break. There is something in your life that you need to break because you're going to create a pattern. Maybe for the next 10 days or 20 days, you wake up from midnight to 3 a.m. and you are praying in tongues, you're worshiping the Lord. You may not know what you're doing, but you're creating a pattern. And that pattern, that cycle you're creating, the Lord will use that to deliver you. Or the Lord will cause people you do not know to pick you up in the spirit and pray for you and connect with you. Because, sometimes when you're praying, you don't know what you're doing. You start praying and you may not know that where you are not, other people are picking you up in the spirit.
Like you're sending signals in the realm of the
It's like a tower.
and intercessors are picking it up
Intercessors are picking you up now.
all over the world.
And before you know, you are in a network of intercessors.
Ooh.
You have connected with them and you don't know. And you're just praying in tongues, you're worshiping, not knowing who is picking you up in the spirit. And in that network of they that pick you, one of them, the Lord will cause them to meet you and help you where you need help.
This is good, guys. This is so good. So good.